What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. You already know, Jay knows sports. Let's get into it, man. Today, we are going to be doing a prediction video on the upcoming slate of NFL games. Two games today on Saturday. First game up, Philadelphia versus Washington. Washington doesn't have their starting quarterback, Jayden Daniels. His season is over with. Philadelphia Eagles, reigning NFL champions, they have too much firepower. They have Saquon, they have Jalen Tush Push Hurts, they have A.J. Brown, and they have Devontae Smith. I don't think Washington can stop all of those guys, even though Philadelphia does a pretty good job of stopping those guys themselves, if you know what I mean. But I still have Philadelphia winning this game pretty handily. I have it being a 30-12 type of game. Philadelphia, of course. Next up, game 2 on Saturday. The Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears. I was going to go with Green Bay. Everything in me wanted to pick Green Bay. And then I remembered injuries. Tucker Kraft out for the year. I believe Christian Watson is out for a couple of weeks or so. They battling a couple of injuries. And Chicago has been playing a really great brand of football. Caleb Williams has been balling this year. He started to figure things out. He's playing well. That defense is playing well. They really poured a lot into that offensive line to be able to go out there and protect him. I don't have this being a super high scoring game, but I do think Chicago should win this game in a 26-20 type of game. Next up, start out the Sunday slate. You got the Buffalo Bills versus the Cleveland Browns. Everything in me wants Shedeur Sanders to win this game, but he has to play the Buffalo Bills. He has to play against Kevin Stefanski, who's asinine. And he has to play against Jerry Jeudy, who's supposed to be wide receiver number 1, but can't seem to get his head out of his... So, I'm going to be going with the Buffalo Bills. This should be a pretty easy win for Buffalo, in my opinion. I understand it's football, any given Sunday, blah, 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 blah. Buffalo should win this game. I have it being a 28-12 type of game. If Buffalo double teams Miles or chip Miles and just make him have to fight a little harder to get his pass rush going, I think it should be pretty easily. Next up, we have the Chargers versus the Cowboys. I'm just playing. I'm not a hater, even though I'm a Texans fan. And, I'm a football fan first. I'm a realist. The Cowboys have a really, really good team this year, man. Earlier on this year, their defense wasn't looking so hot, but they made a couple of trades and they're starting to figure some things out. That offense has been pretty good all year. They're not the same number 1 offense that they once were, but they still a pretty good football team. With all that being said, I still have the Chargers taking this game. The Chargers are a really good team. They've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. They have a couple of guys that can get it done on both sides of the ball. Herbert is Herbert. I don't think he's a super great quarterback, but he's not a bad quarterback. But I have this game being low scoring. I have it being 20-26 in way of the Chargers. Next up, Slumber Fest. Kansas City and Slumber Fest in the same sentence. Patrick Mahomes got hurt last week, tore his ACL or his Achilles, one of them. He's supposed to be going to get a second opinion, but my guy, you're done for. He's probably not even going to see the beginning of next year. We don't know all the details on that yet, but still, Kansas City has the better defense. I trust them more just because they have the better vets, in my opinion. I don't think Cam Ward is ready for that leap yet to go against that defense. He's still young. He's still figuring out, and that team is absolutely trash. With that being said, I still have this being a low-scoring game, 16-13 type of game. Could be a toss-up. Who knows? Next up, Cincinnati Bengals versus Miami Dolphins. Miami recently benched Tua. We all saw it coming. We knew it was coming. Tua hasn't been playing a great brand of football, but the Dolphins were on a roll until last week. That being said, the Bengals, they don't have a great defense, but their offense. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, and of course, Joe Burrow. Those guys are going to go in. They're going to win that game. I think they should win. It shouldn't be a blowout, but it shouldn't be super close either. I have that game being 26-13. Next up, we have the Jets versus the Saints. another game that's going to be a slumber fest. I have the Saints winning this game. The Jets are on a third, fourth string quarterback. I think Tyrod got hurt, concussion or something. Justin Fields done for. The Saints, they not playing bad, but it could be way, way better. That being said, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I have it being a 10-13 type of ball game. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Another game that I don't really feel like is going to be a good game or a high-scoring game. New York is going to go out there. They're going to play. They kind of play a fun brand of football. I like watching New York play. Really, really fun games. Even if they're losing, they kind of make things competitive when they're healthy. Of course, they're missing Cam Scatterbo, who's going to be their running back for the next couple of years. I don't know how long he's going to last playing that hard-hitted football that he likes to play, but that's neither here nor there. Minnesota, my bad. Minnesota, they have Jamar Chase. They have Addison. They still have a nice array of weapons, so I have them winning this game in a 20-10 type of game. Next up, Tampa Bay versus Carolina. I picked Carolina strictly because I want them to win. They deserve to win. You win this game, for the most part, you lock up the division. Bryce Young, get it done. Get to your first playoff and show us what you can do. You've been playing really good football, after all the controversial stuff when you were drafted about you being too small. You've been playing a pretty good brand of football this year. You've been proving people wrong. You are a quarterback in the NFL. Show it. I think this game can go one or two ways. Like I said, I want Carolina to win, but it's not a surefire win. If they do win, I have it being a close game, 26-23 type of game. On the flip side, Tampa Bay has those dogs. Baker Mayfield is a gunslinging quarterback. We already know that. He has the confidence. He's not scared to throw the ball. He doesn't care if he turns it over. He'll come back out and throw a go ball on the next possession after interception. Mike Evans came back last week. He was absolutely fuming after that loss last week. He's hot. The team's upset. They've been losing. I really don't see them losing this game. And if they win, I think it's going to be pretty handedly, probably a 30-16 type of game. But like I said, I want Carolina to win, so that's who I went with. Next up, we have Jacksonville versus the Denver Cupcake Schedule Broncos. Yeah, I said it. I am a Texans fan, and I am tired of arguing with the Broncos fans. You guys injured Stroud. That is the only reason why you barely won that game. You're not that good. You have a pretty good defense. It is not better than ours. I'm not getting into that. That is a topic for another video. But I do think you guys should be able to beat Jacksonville. Let's hope so. Jacksonville is a pretty good football team. They're on a 5-game winning streak or something like that right now. Those guys are playing pretty good. Both of these teams have pretty good defenses, top 10 defenses. The Broncos are a top 5 defense. But I think the Broncos on the offensive side of the ball have a bit more firepower than the Jaguars do. So I think this can be one of those games that it's not going to be a shootout just because those defenses are pretty good. But it's not going to be a super low-scoring game. I have it being 28-20 type of game in the Denver Broncos' favor. Next up, the Falcons. I need you to get it together because you guys have been BSing. Outside of last week, you guys played really well. Versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals stink. They are not a good football team at all. The Falcons should go in there and absolutely stomp all over them. You have Bijan. You have Kyle Pitts. Kirk Cousins didn't look so bad last week. I understand you don't have Drake London, but if you need Drake London to beat the Arizona Cardinals, you should just blow up your whole team. I think this should be a pretty great margin victory for the Falcons. I have it being a 27-10 type of game. Bijan, you're my fantasy running back. I picked you first overall. I need points. Get them, please, and thank you. Next up, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Detroit Lions. I know what you're going to say. You think Pittsburgh is going to beat Detroit? Yes. Pittsburgh is my second favorite team, but I'm not just being biased. Both of these teams are playing a similar brand of football. They both have good defenses that haven't been showing that they're so good, and they both have high-powered offenses who, when they get it going, they're great, but they can sometimes be in a slump. Goff is Goff. He's going to go out there. He's going to play the best of his ability. He's going to put the ball in his playmaker's hands and hope you make a play. Then you have Aaron Old Man Rodgers, that is. Still a pretty good quarterback. I think this should be a pretty good game. Pretty close, low-scoring game, really. Not super low. I got 26-20 type of game. Next up. It's not just because I'm a Texans fan. This is my lock of the week. Houston, the number one defense. Raiders, the worst offense. Texans should put their foot on their throats from the start. It shouldn't be a game. I don't honestly think the Raiders should score a touchdown. I'm not going to call a shutout. That's pretty hard to do in the NFL, even though the Raiders got shut out last week, if I'm not mistaken, by the Eagles. But they shouldn't go off. The Texans defense was pretty upset about Arizona hanging 20 on them. Not many teams have done that this year. Their teams are averaging 16 points against the Texans defense this year. So for Arizona to go put up 20, those guys were hot. Will Anderson, he wants some sacks. Danielle Hunter, he wants some sacks. That secondary is phenomenal. Go out there, create turnovers, and hit them in the mouth. We don't care about Ashton Jeanty. We don't care about Brock Bowers. Geno Smith isn't that guy. Go out there and beat them. I think you should hang up another 40 points. That's the only way I'm going to be satisfied. I have this game being 40-3. Next, we have the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens. This is my upset alert for the week. I know you're asking, how can Baltimore winning be an upset alert? Because of how the teams have been playing this year. Yes, I understand. New England has had a cupcake schedule just like the Denver Broncos. But all in all, good teams are supposed to beat the bad teams. So if you have an easy schedule, you should be at the top of your division if you consider yourself a good team. With that being said, Lamar Jackson is going to put on the cape this week. He's not going to lose this game at home against the Patriots. Derrick Henry needs to do Derrick Henry things. Run the ball, run people over, hit them in their mouths. This should be a blowout in my opinion. Will it be? I don't know. But I have it being a 30-12 type of football game. That's just my opinion. Kill me in the comments later. I don't care. For the Monday Night Football, we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Indianapolis, we just signed Phillip Rivers Colts. Why would you guys do that? I have no clue. The 44-year-old quarterback, yes, you heard that right, 44. If you go look on Prize Picks, they have a picture of Joe Biden for Phillip Rivers because of how old he is. That's neither here nor there. Phillip Rivers can't throw the ball 20 yards down the field. He barely could do it in 2020, his last year playing before he retired. Why they would think he could do it now, I don't know. Maybe they thought if he rests the shoulder for a couple of years, he'd come back and be able to sling it a little bit better, but I actually think it's a bit worse. San Francisco definitely has the better team. Even with all the injuries those guys are suffering, I think their whole starting defense for the most part is hurt. Almost everybody on the 49ers team is backup players, and those guys are still playing a really good brand of football. That's that Kyle Shanahan system for you. With that being said, they still have Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, George Kittle. I feel like they're going to be too much for the Colts to overcome. I know the Colts have Jonathan Taylor. That is the number one running back in the league this year. Probably going to be the offensive player of the year, if I'm being honest. But now with Phillip Rivers being a quarterback, you can make them one-dimensional. If you load the box up and take Jonathan Taylor out of the game, what are they going to do? They have a quarterback that can't throw the ball. What, they're going to run screens and slants all game? Hit him in the mouth and get this game over early so I can turn my TV off and go to sleep. Thank you very much. That would be appreciated. That is my predictions for this upcoming slate of games. Drop down in the comments who you think is going to win. Drop down in the comments if you want to argue and if you think I'm wrong about something. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Please look out for me. Help me out just a little bit. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.